Hey guys. Today I'm going to be walking you around my house to show you each and every one of my houseplants, minus my grow tent houseplants because it's a little bit crazy in there, although I do have a separate video on that. But other than the grow tent, I will be showing you each of the plants as they sit in my house right now and kind of talk a bit about them. Hopefully you like this kind of video. I love filming these kinds of videos because I could just talk about my plants forever. So thank you so much for being here and listening to me go on about plants. Appreciate it, appreciate you. But before we get into my houseplant collection tour, here is a quick 60 seconds from today's sponsor. Huge thank you to Cometeer for making this video possible. This right here is an example of Cometeer's bread and butter. This is all you need to make a really excellent coffee at home in just under a minute. Cometeer actually brews different types of coffee, and then when it's at its peak flavor, they go ahead and flash freeze it into these recyclable capsules, which are so handy. You just store them in your freezer until you're ready to drink them. These, you guys, these are so simple because basically all I do, I just pull one of these out, stick it in my fridge overnight to thaw. The next day, fill up my glass with water and ice, and then go ahead and pour this over top and mix. They do have a lot of flavors to choose from. Right now, I am drinking Nano Genji is what it's called. I like it a lot. Highly recommend giving it a shot, especially if you love like light roast, more tea, like coffees. The coffee is delivered monthly straight to your door in customized boxes based on your roast preference. I love the versatility of it. I don't have to worry about buying my coffee at the grocery store or going to a coffee shop. Very minimal effort. Now is a great time to give it a shot and see how awesome it really is, because for a limited time, they're offering $20 off each of your first 2 orders, so $40 total. When you use my code Harli at cometeer.com. There will also be a link down in the description box. I love it. I really love it. So cheers to you. Cheers to us. Thank you, Cometeer. And with all of that being said, let's get back into the plants. First up on our little houseplant tour is Spathiphyllum Sensation. Peace lily basically is what it is. Really, really pretty. I love it a lot. And next to that, I have my Cebu Blue, which has mothered many a plant. I know quite a few of you have purchased plants for me that came from this beauty, but it's doing really, really well. This is a north window and it seems to really like this spot. And I just love these two together. I think they look so cute in their little pots. I don't know, I just love them, and it really fills in the room and makes it feel a bit more jungle-esque, which I love. And before I move on, I've got to get this one out of the way. It is just golden pothos cuttings and philodendron Brazil cuttings rooting in water, and it lives just right here in the corner on my kitchen counter. On the other side of the sliding glass doors, I have my Biorb here. I will say I went to Costa Rica for 10 days recently, and my plants didn't get watered in the time I was gone. You'll definitely be able to see it right there. Some jewel orchids did kill off a bunch of leaves. The plant itself is still alive, so I think it'll be okay, but yeah, that is what happened. There's a lot of death happening in here, and it's just because I didn't have anybody water it while I was gone. Along the outsides here, I do have quite a few philodendron micans living in here. I have a begonia negrosensis, which is this little beauty right here. It comes out really pink and beautiful. I have a syngonium ribbon here, syngonium albo there, some peperomia hoffmanii, begonia picturata maybe, or gosh, what's the other one that has the pink hairs? Whatever it is, that's what that is. I also have some Ludicea discolor, as well as some Macode's patola back there. So a couple of jewel orchids. This little viney guy here is a variegated Hai, something like that. Grown quite a bit in here. And then last up we have Begonia amphioxus. That is my Biorb, and I really, really love it. I think it looks so cute and perfect on this little wicker table. Anyway, I'm gonna move on from that now, even though I could talk about it forever. So just right next to that, I have this Syndapsis satin jade, which is absolutely beautiful. I think the leaves are quite big. It does have some discoloration, like I said, from not being watered for the 10 days I was gone, but it's fine now. It's perking back up. I actually put this into a lamp stand, took the bulb out, lives in that lamp. I love that it just brings plants up higher so that not all the plants are just at the same level, you know? You kind of have to look up to see this one. So I really, really love that. Okay, we're at my Ikea. Oh, somebody's calling me. Dinetta Research? I don't think so. Do I want to turn on the light? Is that better? Probably. So this, let me back you up a little more. This is my Ikea Vitsto cabinet, and I absolutely love it. I love it. This is one of the first furniture pieces I ever bought specifically to house my plants, and I guess my coffee, which I've just been sipping on. It's awesome. I recently added grow lights onto the shelves, which has made my plants so much happier and has made me be able to keep more plants here, because right here, this is a north window, but it is kind of it is a covered north window. They don't get too much sunlight, but these have very much helped. Starting up here, I have my Scindapsus Pictus Exotica, which I've had for so long. I've had it for like 5 years now, I think. It has gotten really big. It was kind of sending out these runners for a while, which is really the thing that told me that these plants needed more sunlight. So I got them more sunlight. This also has mothered many plants. I've taken so many cuttings from this thing, and I think it's so beautiful. It will forever be one of my favorite plant varieties. But next to that, I have variegated heartleaf philodendron. I did buy this plant as a single cutting, and I've just propagated it to be a more full pot. It's growing in beautifully, like just look, ooh, that is just so yummy, wouldn't you say? Yeah, I really, really like this plant, and it doesn't need high light, which is awesome. So then right here, these are just some Jade Scindapsus propagations. They are by now rooted, and I'm probably going to give these to my mom because she was babysitting for me while I was in Costa Rica, and she said she liked this. So perfect, they're already rooted in everything. I'm definitely gonna go pass those on. Right here, I have my ponytail palm, which I actually really, really love. I, for a while, kind of thought I didn't like this kind of plant, but this one has been doing really well. Super low maintenance. I was really worried I was going to kill it, but clearly it is not killed. And in fact, it's putting out even more beautiful little fronds like this. So I highly recommend this plant. I feel like they're not talked about too often. Well, I mean, they're like a pretty well-known plant, but I don't know why people don't like gush about them very much. I don't know, I just don't see people keeping them very often. Maybe that's just me, maybe I'm just like not paying attention. But right here is my Tahitian bridal veil vine, which I love this plant. I will always love this plant. Mine is about to bloom. I think this is a really cool plant. I will say one note on this. I love it because it is a longer plant. It does grow in really pretty full looking because the leaves are so small and compact. It's just like, it's like drapes. It looks like drapes or something, but like nature's drapes. Should I turn off the light? Oh yeah, that's gonna be better. This is a very thirsty plant in my experience. Doesn't need a whole lot of light. I mean, clearly it needs light, but it is pretty thirsty compared to the rest of my plants. So just something to keep note of. And if you aren't watering it frequently enough, you will get these dead leaves more toward the top of the plant. It can get a bit sparse at the top, especially where I'm keeping it in such a small pot. I should probably upsize it here soon so that I don't have to water it as often. You live and you learn. Moving on downward to this next shelf. Here is a Peperomia persiliata, which it's so cute, right? It's so cute. And it's, why did I get this plant? Why did I buy this plant? Because it's cute. But I will say I'm someone that really struggles with peperomia, like generally. I think I rot them. I definitely struggle with them. I don't know what it is. They just don't really vibe with my plant keeping style. And I do think this is a bit more of a difficult variety, if you ask me. I mean, it is looking pretty cute down here, doing okay, but up here it's just, I don't know, struggling. And it does drop leaves quite often. I don't know if that's just how this plant is. It is also blooming, which makes me nervous. Seeing the blooms, I'm like, oh, the plant is happy, but then sometimes plants bloom when they think they're going to die. And I think that's the case with this peperomia. There's blooms just everywhere. And there's no way that I'm like doing well with this, you know? There's just no freaking way. But anyway, that's a long story for this plant. But if any of you guys have this plant, have experience with this plant, especially any of you who don't have like the bald top like I have, please give me some tips because I do want this to thrive. I shouldn't have bought this. I struggle with peperomia. Right behind that, I have my dragon scale anthurium or alocasia. It is an alocasia dragon scale. And yeah, doing well. Nothing really to write home about. It's doing okay. Behind that, philodendron pasta philodendron pasta. I don't know how to say the full name, so I'm not going to, but it will be on screen. The little leaf we have going here, and it is about to push out another one. This is another reason I decided to install the grow lights on here, because this guy clearly needed more light. It's like reaching so far at the leaf before it was reaching even further. So I think now we got it covered light-wise. I think it's gonna be more okay now, and it's so cute. This pot is going to be so cute once that next leaf comes in and it actually looks like a full plant instead of just this tiny leaf. This next one is probably my most embarrassing plant, I'll be honest. Again, back to the peperomia thing, just some more evidence of how much I suck at peperomia, but this is my variegated watermelon peperomia. We don't get along, I don't think, at all, actually. I'm just gonna put it back. I'm not gonna go on about this one. It's clear as day. All right, so just in front of that here, we have another peperomia, but it is my peperomia Hope. And this peperomia does give me hope because it's actually alive. And I will say for a while, I think you'll be able to see this strand. The internodes are pretty spaced out, but now that it has more light, it's starting to grow in a bit more compact, which I'm excited about. I do really like the way this plant looks as it hangs. So yeah, I love that it's like hanging down here. I don't know, I love this. I think it's so cool. It's kind of weird, but in a cool way. Next to that, we have this little Sansevieria, and people always tell me what variety this is, but I just cannot for the life of me remember. I'm terrible at succulent names, but it is cute, and it's in this little handmade pot that I made. Duh, handmade by me. A philodendron, epipremnum and plesimum. I always call it philodendron, but it's an epipremnum. It's a silver streak, which is so beautiful. I love the growth pattern of this thing. The leaves, well, I don't know. There's just something about this. This is definitely top 10 plants for me. And look, a little straggler syngonium somehow made its way into this pot. There definitely was just like a node in there or something. And it's so cute. I love when little plants just decide to pop out like that. Highly recommend. Very easy and beautiful and rewarding. Okay, next up, I'm gonna bring you in close. Back here is my Syndapsis trubii Moonlight, which is doing very, very well. It just popped this new leaf. It did dry out just like a tiny bit while I was gone, but so pretty. I love Syndapsis. I love them. And I love that one. I think it's cute. This is one that I used to struggle with, but I found that they just take a bit longer to acclimate, I think. And once they're acclimated, then it'll just start shooting out growth once it is. So that's kind of what's happening here. In front of that, we have a philodendron. It's either Tahiti or Maoi, which this one is kind of having a hard time with the added light fixtures here. So the leaves are just kind of starting to yellow, and I definitely think it's because of the excess lighting. So I hope that it's going to acclimate soon. If not, I may just go ahead and chop up each of these nodes, because as you can see, the internode spacing is quite spaced out, spread apart. Chopping it up might do the plant some good, but I do like this plant. I love how unique the leaf shape is. And I love a variety of plants. Like I love different leaf shapes all mixed together, leaf shapes and colors. I think it just makes it a little more interesting and kind of messy looking, but I like messy looking in a way. I don't know how to explain that. Do any of you guys know what I mean? Like I kind of like when things look disheveled, and a mixture of plant leaves just kind of hanging all over like that looks disheveled, but in a fun way to me. Down here on the next row, we have this little golden pothos. Right here, we have some Pilia peperomioides, little babies that I cut off the mother plant recently. You'll see that plant a little bit later in the video, but doing very, very well, growing amazingly under these lights I just added in. And in the very back there, we have this lead head glass terrarium, which just has some living sphagnum moss and some little mystery ferns that popped up out of nowhere. Again, I love when that happens. This is one of my favorite like plant things that I own. Here is a Peperomia hoffmanii, which I find to be so cute. I just love the little leaves. The growth pattern is amazing, and as it hangs down, I just love it even more and more. This is my second attempt at keeping one of these, and so far so good. It's growing lots, and I am quite pleased. I'm quite pleased. Doesn't it look pretty good? Back here we have a peperomia incana, which is the felted, like fuzzy peperomia. Really cool variety of peperomia that I highly recommend if you're able to snag it and you're into peperomia or interested in trying them. It's been one of the easier varieties in my experience, although I will say it does like a little bit higher light, so just something to keep in mind. But in front of that, we have some peperomia. Wow, I have a lot of peperomias for someone who struggles with peperomia. This is a peperomia scandens, and it was a small cutting from my mom. It has grown out to be quite beautiful, I think. So I really like it a lot, actually. And back here is just a sad little global green pothos that I just stuck a bunch of nodes and some sphagnum moss in here. And it's starting to grow back. Hopefully it'll get huge and full and be more than 3 little sad leaves. Hopefully at some point. And then just here, last up, we have, let me move this out of the way. We have a Syndapsis Silver Splash, I think. You can see people are like, oh my gosh, that looks just like Pictus exotica, but I promise it doesn't. I'm gonna go ahead and pull off a leaf over here, throw this in a thing of water and propagate it. But here's the Syndapsis exotica. This is a Silver Splash. So you can see they do look different. Just has a lot more like marbling going on. Definitely to someone who doesn't know plants, they look like the same, but I don't know. It's like picking out nail polish colors. Sometimes people are like, oh, that's pink, but it's like there's different shades of pink, you know? That's different shades of plant. Anyway, I'm gonna put this up here. I'm gonna go ahead and pop it in here with the jade. Pretty rooted. Okay, onward. So up here on my TV mantle, we just have a whole bunch of Philodendron Brazil. This is the mother Philodendron Brazil, which you may have seen me chop up and propagate. Well, okay, you kind of saw me because that was a little bit of a fail because I lost half the footage in a golf ball, I guess. And then on the end here, we just have some Harli Philodendron, which I really like this because, let me show you. I know people get their panties in a wad about this one because it's so rooting out the bottom of this little nursery pot, but I just like the way this looks. I like being able to see the roots down here. I just add water into this glass thing and it does what it needs, okay? I don't know, I think it's cool. And one day I may repot this plant, but today is not that day. So I really, really like it here. I really like it. Oh, a leaf just fell off. 'Tis life. Then just on the other side of the mantle, I'm gonna have to climb up here. We have some Syndapsis exotica propagations, very, very well rooted. That was a mosquito, that's annoying. There's so many mosquitoes where I live. Very rooted, I could definitely pot them up. And then same thing for this neon pothos. Very rooted, just propagating in water. And I'm gonna keep it here for quite some time. And I have this little deer planter. I just don't know what to put in it. Here are some beautiful little artworks. Hello, Tungu, I miss you so much. Here we have my Hoya Crimson Princess, one of my favorite Hoya varieties and probably the first one that ever got me interested in them because, I don't know, just look at that. Is that not the cutest thing you ever saw? It's growing really weirdly. I love that it's like, and then, I don't know where it's going, but I'm not complaining. It can go wherever it wants because it's just doing some weird things and I'm loving the way it looks. Gotta be honest, really, really cool. We are now in Rai's room. This one is gonna be very hard to show you. I'm gonna try and put these curtains behind it so that I can show you, but I have this mixed pot of Hoya Bella. So I have the Onique variety and the Louis Bois variety in here, as well as the regular old green variety. So yeah, the green variety is definitely growing the best out of all of it. This thing has bloomed so many times. Let's see if I can find, oh, they all fell off, but there are a few different little peduncles. You can see some dried up blooms there. This is a south window and it's growing. I'm not normally one to do like a mixed pot, but for some reason with the Bella, I like having all 3 of the varieties together. So there's the inner variegated, outer variegated, and then regular green in this pot. So I find it to be really cool. And yeah, can you see? It's so backlit. That's not gonna work out. Yeah, so there's that one. Okay, so it's a little bit echoey in here, but we are now in my hallway bathroom. This is like the main bathroom that people use when they come over. I will say I had a bit of a situation. There was a mealybug outbreak when I came back from Costa Rica. I didn't notice any of them before I left, and then all of a sudden they were just everywhere. I'm doing a separate video about dealing with that, but this is the room where it happened, and I'm pretty thankful that it happened in here instead of out anywhere else, honestly, in the house, because there are so few plants in here that I've just been able to move them all out, treat everything. I've been treating them for a few days now. I haven't seen a sign of a living mealybug yet. I'm gonna give it another like 3 or 4 days, and then I think I'm in the clear, but just to be safe. I don't know, it's been like not too stressful, surprisingly. Okay, let me show you the plants. So, oh, and I did put grow bulbs in my light fixture. Plants are loving it. They're growing beautifully, I think. So anyway, this is a lemon lime, an upright lemon lime philodendron, but there are also some Thai sunrise stalks in here. So I don't know, you know what? I'll just show it a little bit closer to you. Yeah, there is a little bit of Thai sunrise mixed in here too, which was cool because I found this at like Home Depot or something. And yeah, it's just so beautiful. I love this plant. I love it. I love it. I love it. And it loves the light. And next to that, this baby's known as a lucky bamboo, but it's really a Dracaena. I just have it in some rocks and I add water into this. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Again, growing super well right here, just right next to this. I need to do something with this because it's really taken over, huh? It's kind of starting to lean a little bit. I need to give it something to climb up. Ooh, I have an idea. We'll do that later. Here we have my Syngonium white butterfly growing wild, really enjoying these grow bulbs. And next to that, we have some Monstera deliciosa propagations, which are growing a lot. I'm gonna see if I can show you the roots. I don't wanna pull it all the way out, but it's definitely rooted. I could go ahead and pot it up, but I'm just gonna let it live in here for a while. Why not? It really fills out this room. Here is where I actually found the mealybug outbreak on this Hoya polyneura. Hoya are just mealybug like magnets for some reason, but like I said, I haven't seen a living mealybug since I began treating it a few days ago. I'm pretty hopeful. I think it's going to be okay, honestly, but you can see the yellowing on the leaves there is the yellowing on the leaves is where the majority of the outbreaks were. So ooh, I mean, it was so bad, you guys. It's okay. And I'm definitely not like about some plants. Okay. I gotta be honest, there are some plants in my collection that if they got mealybugs, I would just throw it out. And especially if they got mealybugs as bad as this one had it, I would just go ahead and throw them out. But I love this Hoya polyneura so much. I just couldn't get myself to give up on it. So please, thoughts and prayers. I don't know. It's okay. It's fine. It's fine. I just couldn't make myself give up on it. So random, we have this little Sansevieria. I think it's like a trifasciata or something like that. I don't know, but I think it's so cute. My mother-in-law gave me this plant pot for Christmas one year, and I think it is just the perfect little match. And look at how cute they look on the windowsill here. And next to that, we have my Monstera Standleyana aria, which is basically just the yellow variegated Standleyana instead of the white. Growing awesome. This also has mothered a lot of plants. I have so many propagations of this, but it grows pretty well in here, likes the bathroom, and it definitely likes this east light. And somehow we ended up with a Kalanchoe mother of millions, and it just has all the babies. I just can't get myself to get rid of it, although I probably should before it chokes out Standleyana aria here. I will do that at some point, probably some point soon, because it's gonna get out of hand real fast. And look, it's dropping babies all over, so I think it's time. I need to do it. And then just on the other side of that window, I have my Stromanth Trio Star just hanging out, looking so cute, cute as ever. I love it. And it likes this eastern light, so awesome. Such a beautiful, beautiful plant. All right, we are now in my bedroom, which I recently did a tour of this, although it has changed a little bit. So starting over here, we have my bird of paradise doing well. I am about to hang a grow light there, actually. I'm gonna do that in the coming few days. But it is, oh my gosh, isn't that so pretty? I think it looks nice. It just really fills up this corner of the room perfectly. And okay, next to that we have an Anthurium crystallinum, which is so sad. This puppy dried out while I was gone to Costa Rica, and then This grow light didn't get turned on the entire, actually none of my grow lights got turned on the entire time I was gone. So, oh, it's suffering. It is suffering. But look, new leaf alert coming through. 2 of them right there, actually. Boop, boop. So I think it's okay. I think it's okay. I will, you know, keep you posted. And then once those pop out, I'll probably go ahead and tear off these old leaves to forgive and forget, you know, live and let live. I don't know. Okay. On the other side of the bed, on my nightstand, I have a philodendron gloriosum, which just put out this new leaf. They are quite enjoying these grow light stand things. I will link this down below. I've talked about them a lot, but I really love them. My plants really love them. This is the best I've ever had a gloriosum do for me. And I've always struggled with them. So I'm very, very grateful for these grow lights. Here on the windowsill, we have my Tephro-cactus geometricus, which I really, really love. This is my favorite kind of cactus, and it has this little thing here, which is actually going to grow into another little ball like this. So it'll just keep growing and stacking on itself, which I find so cool. You should definitely look up this plant as they get bigger and form more of the balls, because they are just unlike anything. It's so cool. They look like little sculptures, and yeah, I love it. On the same windowsill, we have my Hoya carnosa compacta, which has lived here for so long. Finally starting to do better. So I am grateful for that. Here is where the biggest chunk of plants in my bedroom live. So we have my Ficus Audrey, which is definitely loving the grow light here. I also have a sport variegated Monstera doing really, really well. I love the variegation on this one. My Monstera albo with all sorts of babies down here. I have another little mystery Sansevieria in this face planter. If you know what this is, I know you guys tell me all the time. I'm so sorry, I'm really forgetful of plant names. Here I have my variegated money tree. This is the Galaxy variegated variety. Really, really cool. Jose Buono, and I just have it sitting in the pot with the Ficus Audrey just to save space so that I could fit more on this little table in front of the grow light. But look at that leaf it most recently put out. That is so beautiful, right? And here we have a Monstera ansonii white form, which is one of my favorite plants, I think. If I could only keep 10, this would definitely be one of them. Really, really loving it there. And we have my Syngonium albo. Cool plant. I'm about to put on another leaf. I love it. Oh, and another lead head glass terrarium. So back there we have a little Boston fern, which popped out of nowhere in one of my little sphagnum moss box propagation boxes. And I've just been growing it ever since it popped out because I think it's so cute. And for some reason, I can't keep a damn fern alive that I buy, but when they just pop out like this, they're so hardy. They're so much hardier, and I'm able to keep them alive. So that is exactly what I'm doing. We have a whole bunch of Libicea species real propagations in there. Oh, they're getting so cute. They're ready to sell. Like I definitely could sell them, but I don't know. I love this. I love this whole thing. So I don't know if I'll ever be able to part ways with this. Here up on the wall, we have philodendron micans, lemon lime philodendron, and Cebu blue. Oh, do these need watered? No, they don't. They're fine. Cebu blue, just propagations. Here we have another upright lemon lime, which was living in the bathroom, but I'm gonna switch that up a little bit. Another upright lemon lime. Why is there toilet paper right there? I don't know. Then also some golden pothos propagations. So I have a whole bunch of plants on my windowsill, but it's so backlit. So I'm just gonna bring them to you and then I'll try and insert something when it's darker. So first up right here, I have this little, my sister actually made this as a toothbrush holder, but I use it as a water propagation vessel. And it has a little upright lemon lime propagation as well as some Syngonium batik. Next to that, we have this variegated Maranta lusonera, I think is how you say it. It did dry out while I was gone on my trip, but I've by now watered it, so it will be fine. Look, it has new leaves right there. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be fine. I've been home for a week now and it hasn't kicked the bucket yet, so I take that as my sign that it's gonna be okay. So cute. Although it was very, very sad. You can see lots of yellow, lots of dead leaves. We have one of my oldest plants and it is this jade crassula, I think is the type of succulent it is. Jade succulent. I love this thing. I think it's so cute how the like stem turns to bark. I know there's a word for that. I don't know what that word is, but this is one of my actually all-time favorite plants also. I will never get rid of this plant. It would take a lot for me to get rid of this actually. There's not a situation I really foresee myself getting rid of it because I love it. I think it's so cute. Oh, it's so cute and it's so easy. And then next to that we have my Kalanchoe marinariana. I bought it as a Panamensis. I know that's not what it is. See, this is why I love it. It throws out these little hot pink aerial roots everywhere. And it's just kind of wild and hangy. And then it drops little babies also, you know, as Kalanchoe do from the leaves. It's so weird, just super funky. So I really, really enjoy this plant. I highly recommend this plant. Next to that, we have a Kalanchoe lavender scallops. Has a little dead leaf there. I'm just gonna go ahead and pull that off. Pretty healthy, growing in super compact now. I bought a plant, cut the top of it off, threw away the like root, the base of the plant, and then just propagated this piece in this soil here. And it definitely like, oh wow, look at that, it's rooted a lot. And that's just this one root. There's definitely more inside of the pot. So that's pretty cool. I'm happy to see that. I should have pulled this out long ago so I could feel better about it. But just so you know, if the plant is kind of wonky, you can always just chop the top off, throw away the weird looking part, and then, you know, start fresh. I do that sometimes. Here we have a sad Aglaonema, and I do think it's so sad because it used to live in that bathroom. I moved it into this bathroom about a month ago, and I just think it's having a hard time acclimating because it is quite a bit more humid in this bathroom. Oh, I didn't mention, this is mine and Ryan's bathroom. So we shower and stuff in here and it stays quite a bit more humid. So it's just kind of struggling with that. It'll be fine. It's just gonna take some time. Here is what once was a Libicea species real, but now it's just this blank stem because Kai actually knocked it off the ledge and all the leaves fell off, the top actually fell off, so there is root in here somewhere. The base of the plant is in here somewhere. Don't know where, but it's in there and I'm hoping it'll just grow back, so I'm not moving it. These are all of the plants I just showed you. Up here, I have a neon pothos, just hanging, doing its thing, living its best life. I think it's happy up there. I've taken a lot of cuttings off this plant, and those are the ones you saw propagating in the other room. My Spathiphyllum domino, yeah. I recently up-potted it, and it has now shot out all these little new crowns, so yeah, it's getting very, very full and big. I may have to repot it again soon because it's just going wild. And on the other side of that, we have my, what are you? Oh my gosh, I totally know. Oh, Calathea macoyana. It just has this cool webbing pattern on its leaves. I love it. Wow, it just really stands out. Isn't that cute? And on the other side of the bathroom is my golden pothos, as well as a Harli philodendron, which these have been here pretty much since I moved into this house, and they're doing really, really well. The last room I'm gonna show you is my filming room, which it is a mess, so please don't judge, okay? All of my plant stuff just kind of gets thrown in here. We gotta move quick because my microphone is running out of steam. Okay, so on these shelves, I've moved a lot of these plants upstairs. I am trying to move all my plants back upstairs so I can live in a jungle home again. Anyway, I have this Monstera deliciosa, which I propagated. It used to be variegated. It is not anymore, although I might try to propagate it some more and see if I'm able to get some variegation back. But either way, it's really cute. Here in this little sad face, crying glitter planter, I have another Sansevieria, which I have no idea what it is. No idea what it is also. And then here I have another little Monstera deliciosa prop, which, oh my gosh, I love them. I just love baby Monstera. On this shelf here, I have a Monstera albo, two Monstera albo props going. Look at how beautiful this one is coming in. It has the perfect variegation. I just am so happy about that. This one is throwing out, oh, let me pull it down so you can see a little better. This one is throwing out all white leaves, and white leaves just do not last very long, unfortunately. So I'm hoping it'll get some green back. It's not looking like it, so I may have to chop this plant back to get the green to grow again. We'll see what happens there. Here I have a Mother of thousands. Look at all those babies in there. Wow. Lots of babies up here. This plant can get wild really fast. And then up here, back here, we have another Deliciosa prop, which is looking like it's reverting. So again, I may end up chopping this back. If it puts out like 3 more reverted leaves, I'm gonna chop it. This is the plant a while ago that Ryan bought me that had all of the glued rocks at the top, and I don't know why it hasn't grown. Like it does, you can kind of see them. It does grow leaves along here, and then during the winter, they just fall off and die, and then it does the same thing the next year, but the plant itself like doesn't grow. I don't know what I'm doing wrong with it, but it's alive. It has roots. I don't know, kind of weird. I have a little coral fire aloe baby, some no, this is a donkey ear kalanchoe, which also has some babies. I need to pot this for sure. In this cute little head planter, I have some Hoya linearis, which I started from just a single little cutting, and it's gotten way more full. I love this plant. I find it to actually be very easy. For a long, long time, I avoided Hoya linearis because I'd heard they're pretty difficult, but I truthfully that hasn't been in my experience, fortunately. And here we have, oh, it's about to bloom. Oh my gosh, it is. So cute. There's so many blooms. I'm gonna have to bring you up close to show you, but this is my Dischidia ovata. This is an awesome, awesome plant. I love it so much. Okay, this is a coral fire aloe, the mother plant that birthed this little baby, as well as many others, which I have gifted to people. And back here is my Mandula pothos. Well, I'll pull it out so you can get the full glory. Very full beauty. I love it. I love it. It looks so good, huh? Growing very well down here. And then on this little table sitting behind my 6-foot terrarium, I have a variegated, I think this is a Burl Marx philodendron. So cute and very rooted out the bottom. So I brought it in here to repot, and I just haven't been able to repot it yet. But it needs it because these roots, man, these roots are long. But like, look at the plant. Doesn't it look so good? I love it. I'm excited to move this one back upstairs. And next to that, we have a Syngonium strawberry ice or berry illusion. I'm not sure. I get really confused because sometimes they look like berry illusions, or not strawberry ice, berries and cream. Is that what it's called? Strawberry and cream. I don't know what it is. It's like the pink one that I want to pot in something different because half of the plant died. But look, it's vining, so like it's okay, I guess. Here we've got a Syngonium auritum, I think. Auritum. You know me and Syngonium. And then surprise, surprise, we got another peperomia. This is a peperomia I don't know. I do not know. I forgot because there's a few that look very similar, and I'm not sure of those few that it is, but it's really cute. But it's really cute, growing very, very well. It's been one of the easier varieties for me to keep, and I love how it's hanging. So I definitely want to move this one upstairs soon. On this windowsill, it's like one of these underground ones. I have a Hoya carnosa compacta, which this is one I actually rescued from Lowe's. It was so almost dead, and I was like, I'm just gonna see if I can like salvage it because it was on clearance. Guess what? I think it's salvaged. I think it's doing okay. Look at this new growth, so cute. And next to that, we have a Hoya species Affinis Bertoniae, philodendron gloriosa. I'm about to put out a new leaf. I need to water it, it's a little bit dry. Here we have a little Monstera species Peru propagation, and these teeny tiny little burrow tail succulents in planters I made. Look at how small compared to my finger. Anyway, here we have an aloe vera. This is a Thanksgiving cactus, which is about to bloom again. This thing blooms like all the time. I guess it is about that time of year when they do bloom pretty prolifically. A smashed fly. And here we have a Rhaphidophora tetrasperma propagation, which I will be putting into my Ikea cabinet. It's very well rooted. And here we have a sport variegated Monstera, although this most recent leaf doesn't have any variegation on it, so we'll see what happens with that. But I mean, it is mostly, well, I guess every other leaf has been coming in variegated, so I don't know, we'll see what happens with that. And it's loving this high amount of light here. And now down on the floor, yeah, down on the floor, we're gonna go clear down here. I'm gonna have to squat down, I guess. This is my Pileia peperomioides plant where I took all the little babies that you saw upstairs. I have been wanting to chop the top off of this and start fresh with it. I just have not gotten around to it. And here we have my cardboard palm, which needs to be watered. I actually also want to move this upstairs back into my bedroom. Okay, so here and here I have all of these random small Hoya propagations, which I do plan to put back into my grow tent because I had these in my Millsbow Ikea cabinet, and I'm actually going to build that out to be a terrarium. I also need to clean out my grow tent so that these will all fit. I have no idea what varieties these are. I'll be totally honest with you. They're just a bunch of random cuttings and gifts and I don't know, just a whole bunch of random things hanging out here. So this is a Ganang Gading, I think is how you say it. This one is a Matilde. This is a Hushkilana variegated. That's all I know. And then last up, we have my 6-foot terrarium. A lot of plants inside of here. So starting in this corner, we have a Philodendron subhestatum. This is a 3 king or jade syngonium. This is Syngonium batik. Oh, and there is a painted lady there, kind of mixed into all of that. And down here, very down there, we have a Syndapsis silver lady. This is that little plant in the corner is a Homolomina rubescens, I think, but it's just a little tiny baby. This is a Syngonium rayi. I have no idea what this begonia is called. Down there we have there's like so many random begonias in here that I have no idea what they are, so I'm really sorry. I think that might be a Darth Vaderiana. Here we have an Oblique, Syngonium wendlandii, Picturata, Julau. Ooh, no idea, maybe Pavonina? No, it's not, I don't know. Another little random guy down there, Amphioxus. I don't know, variegated Monstera species Peru, Syngonium T25, I think. Another Julau, a Cleopatra. This is a Cleopatra begonia. This is a Arontiflora begonia. Ew, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm doing my best, I swear. Okay, this is a begonia. I know what this one is. No idea. It's not coming to me. I'm so sorry. Here we have another little Alocasia dragon scale, which is doing hot. This guy, what are you? I don't know. Some more Epipremnum amplissimum silver streak. This huge begonia, which this leaf is just getting old, but it grows in these huge, huge leaves. Maybe I have an ID, I do. This one is a Begonia erectocarpa, mixed in with some philodendron. Oh, it's burning from the grow lights. Some philodendron fibrosum. Look at how fuzzy these legs are. So this is all the fibrosum. Back here we have a white knight, which was node grown. Here we have a Philodendron giganteum. Blizzard, I think is what it's called. Some more random little begonias down here, which this one has a tag. What is it? I think this one is the, Austro-Vietnamica. That one's really pretty when it grows in. Here we have I think this is a Monstera pinaparta or something along those lines. It's a Monstera of some sort. And here we have my Philodendron rugosum, which is just getting a little bit too big. I'm gonna have to chop this guy up. Once this leaf pops, it's gonna like hit the ceiling. Down here we have a Begonia nahungensis. Gosh, I wish I knew these. There's a strawberry shake. This one is a Begonia feryx. This is a U655 or something like that. There's no ID tag, so I don't know. And a Chlorosticta. This is the green form. So you know what? Oh, and then there's, this is a Philodendron glorious. Oh, and I know what that is too. It's a type of piper. What is it called? Piper something. I'm so sorry, I cannot remember. Oh, it's like a Piper porphyllum. Something like that. And then a little Adansonia, so cute. So that is the whole 6-foot terrarium. I'm so sorry. I'm terrible with begonia names. Terrible, terrible. I need to get better at it because I do love begonia. I don't know why I can't remember the freaking names. Those are all the plants in my house. You know what? Thank you so much for being patient with me, not knowing the names of a bunch of these. I wish I could just remember every word I've ever heard, but I can't. And in fact, I forget most of them, so it's hard. It's hard to remember plant names. But yeah, that is my plant collection. Please let me know your thoughts, opinions, concerns, questions, just any fleeting thought. Please leave a comment down below. It's very helpful for me and my channel. Thumbs up or thumbs down this video, letting me know if you like this type of content so I know what to make going forward. And yeah, that is it for this video. Thank you so, so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And I will see you in my next one. Bye!